this game. It's called Splatoon. You guys should all play it, is the thing. So basically, it's a video game for the Nintendo Switch where you play as little squids, and the goal is to put down more paint on the ground than the enemy team. And I think that demonstrates like the idea you're just supposed to paint the ground. That's the whole thing. That's the whole game. There are other game modes. There's like a ranked one because it is a shooting game. It's kind of like in between a shooting game and a sports game in vibes. So it's like a shooting game, but no one calls you slurs. It's really nice. There's other modes. There's some like more competitive modes. There's also a PvE mode called Salmon Run, where you fight these little goblin, gremlin, orc things that are salmons. Because there's a lot of lore that I have to explain to tell you why they're salmons, but don't worry about it. There's a lot of different salmon enemies, and by the way, the reason why you're fighting the salmons is so you can steal their children that you use as a power source. Don't worry about it. This is normal. Anyways, here's the player characters. Ooh, good. So you've got like 4 options for player characters. You've got your Inklings here. You've got 2 different versions, the one that is more feminine and the one that's more masculine. And then you've got the 2 Octolings, which are octopuses, octopodes, whatever. Those are squids, octopuses. Very, very clear distinctions. Their hair is tentacles. But anyways, the feminine one and the more masculine one. You can also dress up the squids basically in however you want. You can see here me and my fiance. I'm the cowboy and she's the not cowboy. That's also me and my fiance. I'm the cowboy because I am so normal. That's her. It's very good. It's a good time. I worked this out this afternoon. I have about 300 hours in it, roughly, and since I got it, I've been playing roughly about 3 hours a day on average, which is a normal amount to play. I'm so normal. I need to reiterate that, I feel. Thank you. Anyway, so there's a lot of lore. So there's actually 3 Splatoon games. I have played all of them at this point. The first one came out in, I think, 2012 for the Wii U. That's just like your Splatoon 1. And then Splatoon 2 came out in 2017. And then Splat 3 came out on September 9th. I didn't get it until 9/11. It was my 9/11 birthday gift. But yeah, so there's a lot of lore. So basically, this is a post-apocalyptic game because about, I think it's 12,000 years ago, all the humans and mammals died for. The game never really tells you. So you're in the post-apocalypse, but it's not the squids apocalypse. They're doing just fine. They're having a great time. There's a lot of things to set up. Is that at some point the squids and octopuses magically evolved into people things, I guess, and that happened to some other sea creatures too, because there are like jellyfish guys around, and the salmonids exist. Except they were transformed into their form by nuclear radiation, I believe, is the implication. But it's not clear. Where the squids is more magic, obviously. I hope this makes sense. But anyways, all the games take place in the ruins of what was once Japan, I think. And there's a big city where Tokyo was, and then there's where Splatoon 3 takes place, which is where a different city that I don't remember the name of was. But they have their own city now. It's quite cool. It looks a lot like Singapore. It's very cool, and I like it. But anyways, the Inklings and the Octolings at one point had a war, which was known as the Great Turf War, and the Inklings almost lost because they slept in and were late to the battle, but they didn't. So they got to stay on the above ground, and then the Octolings went underground into chambers such as that one. The other thing is that in Splat 2, there's an expansion pack called Octo Expansion, where basically you reunite the Inklings and Octolings, and by the time of Splat 3, they are all playable characters because they have been reunited and they live in harmony. But yeah, also this map is really cool and it shows a lot of some of the different characters' places, which is neat. Oh, and that's where you fight the salmonids because they're always trying to invade just a little bit, so you have to fight them. Unless you're fighting them over there. Don't worry about it. It's not important, but it's just interesting to me. Anyways, there's really a lot of good music in the games. In fact, the games are quite musical. I'm going to show you a little bit of 2 examples of them, of the music. it just loops there because it's video game music. But yeah, the music is really interesting to me as a musician and sound designer. There's two really cool things about the vocals. One thing is that you probably didn't understand any of the vocals, no matter what language you spoke, because it's a completely made-up language. I believe this particular song's made-up language was made to sound more like Japanese, if I remember correctly, whereas some of the other songs are made to sound more Western. And it is interesting how they just make random noises, and you can tell whether or not it's Western. It's really cool. Also, instead of using Vocaloids, which was their first idea when they were trying to put the vocals together for, squids, what does a singing squid sound like? Not what a person sounds like. So they tried Vocaloids, and that didn't work. It just sounded like robots, as Vocaloids tend to. So what they ended up doing was using human vocals, using gibberish as the words themselves, and then doing a lot of really cool signal chain stuff to make it sound like a squid was singing it, and like there's this like gargling factor to it, which is really cool. I was going to show you the other song, but I'm actually running out of time because I'm talking about this too much. But also, by the way, all of the music is canon, and the bands that play the music have lore too, which I will talk to you about. Anyway, so these two here, these are the Squid Sisters. They are the hosts of Splat 1 because each game has like a set of host characters, and every time you open the game, there's the news which tells you what stages and game modes are available at any time. But also the people who do the news are in bands. So these two are the Squid Sisters. They make like pop music. It's okay. The music doesn't really slap that much. And also, their names are Callie and Marie, which is yeah. Thank you, Nintendo. Really good pun. Good fun. Good. Whatever. Anyways, so then the Splat 2 hosts are these two, which are Pearl and Marina, and they formed a band called Off the Hook. They're really excellent, and I love them, and they're lesbians, by the way, which is important for you to know. They also. This one's a squid and that one's an octopus, and that plays into the story of Splat 2 like a lot. And she's kind of like the main character of the whole thing, a little bit, which I still don't understand why they did that, but they did, and it's okay, because she's pretty great. And then these three morons are Deep Cut. They are the hosts for Splat 3. I like them very much. I've made a whole thing for them. So here's the thing about them. Whereas the Squid Sisters were like siblings that barely get along, and Pearl and Marina are like very dating. These idiots are like Team Rocket if they were like 19 and didn't like. They're the type of people that if you walk into their house, I feel like it'd be like wading through garbage because they do canonically live together. But like dysfunctional queer roommates kind of vibe, you know what I mean? Anyways, I think I'm so normal about them. This one's name is Shiver. She's my favorite. She's got shark motifs and is every flavor of LGBT. Anyone you want. It's very cool because even though she uses she, her pronouns, she also doesn't have boobs, which is very cool and very trans and very gay, and I appreciate that. Also, like, Japanese inspired, as you can kind of clearly see. This one is Fry. She's a little gremlin. I love her. Most squids don't have vampire fangs, but she does, which is neat and very cool. Also, they do like a fire and ice thing here, that's cute, I guess. They have like a brain cell between them, like they think they're very smart and suave, but then they just like constantly eat shit. It's incredibly enjoyable. It's like I said, like Team Rocket. And where is he? And that's Big Man. They did a really good job naming him because they said that's a big man, and they said, yep, Big Man. He's a manta ray. He's a himbo. I enjoy him. And oh, I meant to add in the kind of music they make, but they make like cool pop music. I am gonna subject you to one of their songs. So sorry, you'll like it, or you won't. I don't care. I do. Awesome. Thank you.
You began a guided meditation video in your living room, but now you're taking your practice outdoors.
Oh yeah, they did a live concert a while ago. I guess I'm gonna show you some of that. People liked it as a paid for it. So, bonus treat. Anyways, that's the whole thing. Does anyone have any questions? I will talk about this for as long as you ask me questions. Dead silence. Awesome. Cool. That's it.